First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Rakakadash, Barakatam. Double honors to the elder apostles at Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers on the highways and byways teaching the truth. In truth and sincerity, risking your lives to do so. All right, to teach the truth that the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are the people, the true people of the Lord that the Bible's talking about or dealing with. All right, the select people. And that the elect are going to be saved from these end times that we're quickly moving into. All right, and so I have an article here. We've seen the development of this coronavirus, whether that was a biological weapon or an act of judgment. Either way, still an act of judgment from the Most High through the powers of the world today. All right, and it's important to understand that the powers today are evil. All right, the powers controlling the world today are wicked. All right, they don't deal with the laws of the world and the laws of life. All right, the laws of life being the statutes and commandments. All right, that's how the Most High made the world, governed by the law, statutes, and commandments. And it's been led astray by these foreign countries, or these foreign nations. And by foreign nations, I mean these heathen nations, predominantly led by the self-proclaimed white man, also known in the scriptures as Esau Edom, all right, or the Edomites. All right, but I got an article here and also a development in the Valley of Jehoshaphat with this situation with Turkey, all right, and Syria, because notably Turkey was formerly backed heavily by the United States, all right, and NATO, or in the scriptures, the beast, as the prophets describe, the element of the conjoined governments of wickedness, all right, that we see in the end times today. All right, it's important we got this understanding and information from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, but we were given this information from the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, and the brothers that have been teaching this information and uncovering these truths through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, I had some scriptures lined up, and we'll grab those through the spirit. But again, getting into what I'm talking about with this article, I mentioned formerly the coronavirus as well. That looks like it's been taking out a large part of the elderly community and people that are prone to poor immune systems. So that didn't turn out to be something that was, world ending. All right, which I said that, these powers that control the world today, these central banks, these Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and DuPonts, they like to play with shit. All right, the Most High is allowing them to have the reins over the world through the demon Satan. All right, and like I said, they're a power and structure of wickedness. That's why they promote the structure and democracy that we see today, predominantly known in America, which is kind of like you just do what you want. People out here eating pork, not really knowing that's a animal, and that's a small thing, in a bigger context of why the Most High is coming back. But we're gonna see judgment on the world here soon, and so we see a large conflict going on in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, or over where these countries are today, known as Turkey and Syria. And the Most High is basically just bringing the nations into a situation where all-out nuclear war is going to be the result. All right. And so what I was saying before, Turkey was formerly, backed by the United States and NATO. They recently have backed off, obviously, because this situation developing where they're basically in all-out war with Syria right now in the Middle East. It's not really being talked about, but it is an exclusive article on RT. And so that's what I use and what my teachers taught me to use. So, and all this information isn't always correct on here as well, but it's better than the shit that you can get in America by far. The bias is much less, in my opinion, although there is still a bias. But through the spirit of power, like I said, the article says Turkish military shoots down 2 Syrian jets as Syria fends off Turkish drone attack. And so, like I said, it's basically like an all-out war. They've been shelling each other, shooting at each other, down each other's jets and planes. There's been some troops killed. I know I saw an article yesterday about that. But then also notably, if I had mentioned before, Syria being backed by the Russian government. All right. And so the bigger picture is this Russian powerhouse versus the United States powerhouse. And they play the peace and safety role, man. That's what they've been doing, is playing peace and safety. But it's going to get real bad out here, according to the scriptures. So you got to decide who you believe in. You know, as a Negro, Latino, Native American, you know, you have to decide if you want to believe in the system, and a system that's always been set up to against you and your people. And to this day is that way. All right, whether it's in your face or not, um, or whether you want to serve your people and your nation, and first and foremost the Most High. All right, and His name, His true name being only for the elect, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash Barakatham. All right, in the Paleo Hebrew, the elect will understand that. All right, and the 1/3 will understand that in these end times. You know, let's see it. Let's read a little bit of this article here, and we might have to break this video off into 2 segments. But through the spirit, hopefully it's edifying. It says Turkey has shot down 2 Syrian warplanes in Idlib as a part of its offensive in the area. The Syrian army destroyed several Turkish drones on the same day. Turkey's UAVs penetrate. So this is like some modern warfare shit. You know, you play Call of Duty. You know, this is for real, like some warfare. They got it. Going. You know, and so this makes sense why I had seen prior, you know, in some articles that the United States was kind of coming away from Turkey, and you know, ultimately the Most High is going to draw the United States back into this shit. There's no escape. There's no salvation for America or anybody um, that believes in the system in terms of the government and the law structure in this land, because it's completely antichrist. All right, and so is the pop culture. All right, and that's just the facts. All right, and that's just the facts. If you read your scriptures and you believe in the Most High, you have a spiritual element. All right, and you see the society that's being, you know, propagated on us in the world today. It's uh, offensively, you know, destructive. You know, self-destructive, not only to the to the world, but to everybody in it. You know, so and we'll, you know, there's other times where I'll get into that more in more detail about how Esau afflicts the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But I can safely say off the top of the head, when I say that the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the world should know pretty generally our past and what's been done to our people. All right. And therefore, when the Lord returns of the appearance of our people, and is going to be a warlike, all out war situation with the world. All right. War of the worlds, you know, like they make the movies, you know, because they just think they're going to win. That's all it is. And so they got this offensive going on in the Middle East. Syria backed by Bashar al-Assad and the Russian government, and then Turkey backed by NATO, which, you know, NATO and the United States are kind of backed off because, you know, as World War II was, you know, initiated, was outside conflict that ultimately drug everybody in. Who knows how the Most High is going to play it out, you know, but the most important thing is we understand that that's what's going to happen. All right. There's no comfort and safety in anything in America or in the world today. It is all an illusion. All right. In the deception that wickedness will go on forever. The world will be moving into in the next life. All right. After this generation is passed, is the world of righteousness, and that's going to be led through who the world ignorantly named Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai Mashiach. All right, and then that will be led with the 144,000 chosen men, 12,000 from each 12 tribes of the sons of Jacob. all right, according to the genealogy and to the adoption, which pertained to the nation of Israel, all right, based on the covenant that was made with Moses. All right, had to come back. I'm at work, so I lost my train of thought, but we're talking about this situation in the Middle East, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, as it's been developing for the last, you know, several decades, basically all our lifetime. I'm 25 now, and so all my life that's been a conflict. But knowing scripturally, that's the Most High bringing these nations into warfare, uh, being ready to go to war, because ultimately, according to the scriptures, they're going to fight the Most High, and that's what the central bank knows that everybody else doesn't know, and that makes them the wicked elite, the central bank, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, the families that have been regenerated after generation after generation, um, to maintain their wealth and their power structure control, um, in terms of the scriptures identifying them as the nation of the Edomites, all right, or the Edomites, Esau, Edom, all right. We know in the scriptures that Esau, Edom will bring about the end and perdition. But let's grab some scriptures real quick. Let me see, where am I at?